It's the NFL on EA Sports. And the question is, are you ready for some football? It's the Titans and the Browns. And it's coming up next on Madden NFL 22.
We come at you from the shores of Lake Erie. EA Sports has the coverage of the NFL from First Energy Stadium here in Cleveland, Ohio. The folks here in Cleveland, even though all the down years, have never stopped supporting their hometown guys, and we got evidence of that a moment ago as the Browns made their entrance. They are ready to do battle with the Tennessee Titans. Alongside my broadcast partner, Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And, CD, this is a passing league. I don't think you would argue that thought. But our ball game here features a couple of teams with strong offensive lines that really like to work the ground game.
And you and I have both heard from different people in the league who's saying that it's becoming a little bit of a lost art in the NFL, the ability to run the football. And we've heard from defensive coordinators who tell us that they play the pass first. That's not something you normally hear. But these two offenses, they're true to who they are. Both ranked in the top 5 in terms of rushing yardage. I think they're both going to use those massive offensive lines to try and wear down these defenses.
Set to go now in Week 6 of the NFL season, and we are underway on EA Sports. Williams to return. And he'll be stopped up at the 25. So here are the Titans now for their first drive. They'll be led out by their 6'4" quarterback, the former #1 overall pick in 2015, Jameis Winston.
And what I loved about meeting with him before the game was talking to a guy who takes ownership of his performance. 2 touchdowns, 2 interceptions last week, but all he focused on was the loss, okay? And he did say, if I change my stats a little bit, not necessarily for me to look better, but that'll help my team.
Jameis now on first down. Looking downfield, and that's caught right side. He's got his man. And able to rip off a big chunk of yardage before being dropped inside the 40. A big connection on that one. 37 yards. First carry of the game for Christian McCaffrey. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
This defense is a difficult one to prepare for, one of the best in the league. They'll come at you from all angles, and they did a nice job there stopping him for a loss.
On 2nd and 12, Winston. And this one is incomplete. He was looking for Michael Pittman that time, and it's 3rd down. And, Charles, despite this list of key inactives that we see here, they've obviously still been pretty successful.
Give everyone credit for this one, because to me, when that happens, key guys are out, the next man steps up and plays well.
Touchdown, Titans! Josh Jacobs, his 6th touchdown of the season, and the Titans have taken a first-quarter lead. Evan McPherson for the extra point. And this is good. Our scores. Tennessee. So after the made field goal, here's McPherson to send this one away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. On play action, Lawrence dumps this to his running back, Chubb. And this will be a gain of 5 as he gets it to the 30.
Defensively here, you're facing a top 5 team in terms of points scored in the NFL. So when they're that high powered, you got to find a way to hold them under 20. Because to me, that's the magic number. 20 points scored, you give yourself your best chance to win.
So if they're up around 24, 28, 30, they could be in some trouble.
And I think so, because then you turn it into a shootout, and that means your offense has to keep pace.
A check on the numbers for Chubb from a week ago. 13 carries, 66 yards, and a touchdown.
Definitely productive, including scoring his 14th touchdown of the season last week. It's going to be fun to watch the matchup now because he has a nose for the end zone. So if you're a defender, what's your job? Keep him out.
A run for Nick Chubb. And he's dropped right at the 40. Gain of 3.
So, Charles, you talk about this head coach and his future with this franchise. Look, it's been a frustrating year, and I think we saw some of that frustration boil over at his weekly press conference earlier in the week.
Yeah, he's trying to say all the right things, isn't he? But he's heard the rumors. He knows what's going on out there. And right now, he is tired of having to answer the question, are you on the hot seat in every meeting with reporters? This week, he kind of said, I've had enough. And I don't blame him. He looks like a guy that may very well be out the door.
First and goal, and a chance to get that initial touchdown right back. Chubb. And he takes this one in for a Brown score. Nick Chubb, touchdown number 15 of the year. And the Browns are within an extra point of tying this thing up.
So it was the passing game that got him down here, but closer to the goal line, it's the running game that gets him home.
Certainly appears that they lulled the defense into thinking that the passing game was going to be it the entire drive. Nice change up there going to the running game to get him over the goal line.
Extra point by Blankenship is up and good, and that will tie our score here in this opening quarter of play. Each team's had it. Each team has scored. 7-7 here as the kick's away. On the return, Williams. And able to get this out to the 25. The Titans coming back onto the field for their second drive. Sitting at first place in the division. They've got an open date on the calendar coming up next week. So, Charles, you and I were talking about this before the game. This one for them kind of has some extra importance.
It certainly does, because if they can get the win here and pad their lead a bit or at least keep pace, then they can really kick their feet up and say a job well done at this point and not have to worry about ball at all until they're back in their facility, back in their meeting room, getting ready for the next game.
Here's a pass swung out left to his running back. McCaffrey with a first down and more. And he takes it all the way up to the 47.
Come on, fellas.
And they'll use him out of the backfield, and sometimes quite a bit. They're just trying to get him touches any way they can. 4 catches a week ago. There's another one right there.
Winston's throw pulled in by Renfro. 7 yards to pick up there.
Nothing fancy on first down, but a very consistent type of a play. Hit that slant. A lot of people call it an extension of the running game, and it can be if that pass is completed, because you hit a guy on the run like that, he often can go for big yardage.
Sets him up nicely for second down, staying ahead of schedule. Well, that is a running back who was not about to go down easily. He fought his way through the contact until the C's opened up for him. And his throw is incomplete.
Well, they've got man coverage on the outside, and my scouting report on these DBs tells me that they love to take matters in their own hands. They want man coverage, not zone. And there was good coverage there that forced the incompletion.
And down he goes, taking it inside the 10, just shy of the 5 at the 6. Had the offense humming on the first drive. Not much has changed here on drive number 2.
No, and I think a lot of the times confidence just really kicks in for a team. They may have been confident going into the game, but once you prove it on a drive, it's hard to get out of that mindset, isn't it? And look, let's face it, we can always lock in on the skill position, guys. Those big fellas up front, they're really making this offense go early in the game.
And the ball smack dab on the 5-yard line. Here's second and goal. Here's a handoff to Jacobs. And he gets halfway home from the 4 down to the 2-yard line. These two teams all tied after one. Jacobs again, and he will score. Touchdown, Titans. Josh Jacobs with his second touchdown of the game, number 7 on the year. And the Titans have taken the lead. Extra point by McPherson, up and good. And that makes the score 14-7. After the touchdown, McPherson on to kick this one away. This is Tony Pollard. And he'll go down as this drive will start at the 25-yard line. Now Nick Chubb and the Browns get set for their next possession. And we check the rushing numbers so far here into Week 6, and the returns have been really good. Now, you're starting to hit that stride middle of the season toward the end. They're certainly hoping they can keep up this production.
They are, because one of the adages in the NFL is that defense travels and defense endures even in bad weather, right? You know what else does? A good running game. And people want that, especially as you head down the stretch. You may play outdoors in some nasty stuff. You're trying to get to the playoffs. This is the time to get it going. And individually, I don't think you should just think about 1,000 yards either. The bar has to be set higher with this beginning. How many times do we say in this game that speed kills, and it does it in so many different ways? In this case, you got a back who's quick and shifty, can make moves, make people miss, but also gets to and through a hole before it can close down. That's some of the benefits of that speed, not just outrun.
And this is caught. Touchdown, Cleveland. DJ Chark with touchdown number 8 on the year. And the Browns are within an extra point of tying this thing up. Boy, he's been doing this for a lot of years with the arm strength still there, and he showed it off on that one.
And I'm telling you, nothing will light up a crowd more than a play like that. Here in the stadium, all eyes were on the receiver streaking downfield, and you know everyone was thinking, throw it, he's open. What a connection there for the touchdown.
And that throw, amazingly, well over 70 yards in the air according to Next Gen Stats. Wow. This one tied at 14 now as he sends this one away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. And here comes Tennessee as they get set to take the field. Now they have the game here followed by the open date on their calendar next weekend. And Charles, this is a crew that you have to think really is relishing the opportunity to be on the couch for a few days.
Yeah, they certainly are, but let's face it, partner. They can't get caught looking ahead to that couch time while they're playing.
And Winston lost the football. And this is picked up by the Browns. And he'll bring it back to the 9-yard line. We know he's got the speed to get downfield, Charles, but there's the negative side. A little loose with the football that time.
And that's normal, especially when you have his type of talents, because you feel like you're into the open field and maybe you don't feel the people who are around you or closing in. All quarterbacks have to do extra ball security drills with the way the game's played now, because defenses, they attack the football as much as they attack the runner.
They'll run with Chubb. He pushes forward from maybe 3 down to the 6-yard line. He's hit pay dirt a lot this year, but not that time.
Yeah, I'm tracking right there with you. You're exactly right. He's found the end zone plenty of times. No way I can find any fault with the call. He may not have scored there, but of course you're going to give it to him.
And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Cleveland. Nick Chubb, his second TD of the game and 16th on the season. And the Browns on just 2 plays have taken the lead. So simple math here in the first half. They've had 3 drives offensively, and they have scored every time, and they've got the lead.
Well, whenever we talk about adjustments, we usually talk about an offense making adjustments, right? This is all about the defense. They've got to figure out some way, somehow to slow them down. Do they blitz a little bit more? Do they play more zone coverage? Right now, they don't know where to go because they're hitting them in every direction.
So after the touchdown, here's Blankenship kicking off. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Getting set to go again as we look at the back heading onto the field again. He's been good. They've utilized him well, but they're losing here in the second quarter. What might they change offensively?
I think that what you try and do is expand how you get the ball to him a little bit. Get him out in open space, maybe swing the ball to him. What's that they used to call in the West Coast offense, the long handoff? Serve as your running play that way, as well as continue to feed him the football. Some of these runs now may pop bigger later in the game because of the effects of running it. Sometimes people, after a while, they don't want to tackle him anymore, or they get tired, or they get out of position, or he runs through tackles. Continue to feed him the ball. He's having that kind of game.
Yeah, might they get him the ball in some space in some different ways here. And he'll get it up near the 35, right at the 34 here. I see an extra defensive back on the field. A little surprise here on 3rd and 1. From the gun, Winston. And that is incomplete.
That could be the stop this defense needed to get them back on track. They've been pretty well dissected by the offense here in the first half. After that possession, now they know that they can compete with this offense.
That'll go as a punt of 34 yards that time. And the Browns will take over 1st and 10. The offense trots back out there. Let's turn our focus now to Nick Chubb. The passing game, they've had more success there than the running game. Maybe something they game plan for.
How come they didn't tell us about it?
Because they wanted to keep it a secret.
We did ask, didn't we? But I think what happened in this one is they've realized that they've established the run pretty well, and teams are going to key on that. They thought they could open it up and have success through the air, and that's exactly what's going on.
Yeah, they've had success, at least so far, here in the second quarter. They go play action with Lawrence. And Sharp hauls it in. And he'll be out just a yard or two shy of the 30.
And that last throw is going to keep him climbing that all-time passing yards leaderboard as he crosses the 25,000-yard mark now for his career.
He just recently passed Bart Starr. Next up for him, Bob Greasy. That's 2 Hall of Famers, 2 Super Bowl winners, multiple Super Bowl winners. So he's getting up with the legends now. Congratulations.
On 1st down, they'll run with Chubb. Officially no gain on the play, and it's 2nd down.
Well, you know, this club, there were some reports earlier in the week, and most have heard this by now, the so-called unnamed sources that were saying all is not rosy in that locker room. There's whispers that 1 or 2 guys, CD, have kind of had enough of how things are going and have been going. How would you handle that as a coach?
Well, you and I both know all the coaches that we've dealt with and come in contact with. They'd love to get their hands on those unnamed sources, wouldn't they? But they know that that's not possible, so I think they've got to go in there and make sure that this isn't a distraction. They also know that once the grumbling starts, it becomes a slippery slope, and it's hard to stop the fall. But I think you need to sit some guys down and say, hey, look, we're still hoping to be a playoff team this year. We need you guys to be bought in with what we're doing. Come on, let's get on board.
Two runs for a net gain of nothing. Now here's 3rd and 10. Now Lawrence. Looking left side, and it's complete. Touchdown, Browns. A great effort there. His 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Browns add 6 to their lead.
Now that touchdown won't allow you to totally relax, but you can breathe a little easier now. Just increased their lead.
Blankenship out for the point after. He's got it as they double up the lead. This one's now 28-14. So that drive spanned 5 plays. And it ends with a touchdown for Cleveland. So after the touchdown, here's Blankenship kicking off. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. Tennessee offense set to go again. And they're coming off a 3-and-out, my friend.
I think they've got to look at that play sheet and go to a spot that they haven't gone before. Time to shake things up a little bit to try and get this offense moving.
Okay, so how do you do that? How do you shake things up?
You look at what you called before, realize it hasn't worked
Go to
so
something
well,
else.
and maybe try and find one of those special plays from one of your better players, and maybe try and hit something big and get things going in the excitement area.
Now the Browns will use the first of their 3 timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. Throw left side, taken in by Pittman. And a good job defensively. They stop him short of the first at the 32. Now the Browns signal for the second of their timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. On now is the Titans punter as he'll kick it away for the second time. So a change of possession here on the punt. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. Now Nick Chubb of the Browns gets set for their next possession. We're in the second quarter. They've got the lead. The lead, though, not so much because of the ground game, because of their air attack, Charles.
So what they're seeing so far is the possibility of things loosening up later in the ground game. Through the air first, maybe they have to start respecting that even more as the game goes on, and then there will be running lanes to find later.
Yeah, trying to get him more involved here in this drive, maybe. A big play that time through the air. 34 yards.
There's no doubt in my mind that not many guys in this league have had the impact that he's had here in the first half of the season. He's been a big play guy from the word go and continues to be one with another one right there.
And he'll go down at the 28. 5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on first down. After the pickup of 5, here's 2nd and 5. They'll go left side on the ground with Chubb. And he'll get this one down to about the 27. They follow up the gain of 5 by only getting 1 there on 2nd down. In need of a conversion on 3rd down. They had the big play to start the drive. Not much sense. Looking for the end zone. And that's going to be caught for a Browns touchdown. DJ Chark, his 2nd touchdown of the game and his 9th on the year. And the Browns add on to their lead.
They have really had their way so far in the first half, but they wanted to continue to build on their lead. They know that no lead is safe in this league, so they decided to try their best to get one more as they headed into the half, and they got it done.
Now Blankenship on for the PAT. And he's been a busy man, 5 for 5 now as he knocks another one through to extend the lead. Just a 4-play drive that time. And it's capped off by the Browns touchdown. So after the touchdown, here's Blankenship kicking off. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The Titans offense going to get one final possession in this first half. And they've got less than 30 seconds to go here, so not a lot of time to work with. A little under 30 seconds to go. We'll see how they play it here on 1st and 10. Throwing, Winston. Got a man, and he hits him in stride. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. Now Tennessee going to use the 2nd of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 21 seconds to go here in the first half. And that is incomplete. 16 seconds now on the clock. After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. From the shotgun, it's Winston. The open man here, Renfro. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. Now a timeout signaled for, and they'll get it with 10 seconds to go before halftime. Jameis again. Oh, had his hands on it, couldn't bring it in. Pretty symptomatic of how this game's been going.
Whenever I see an in route dropped, as we just saw on that play, I'm always thinking that in the back of their mind, they're worried about what's coming at them because they're going towards traffic on that route as opposed to being away from it and maybe having a little bit more space.
He'll get this to his tight end. It's Jonnu Smith. And he's got this down a yard or two shy of the 40 before he's out of bounds. Both sides were holding their breath there on that fourth down play, and the offense can breathe a sigh of relief.
And both knew exactly where the first down markers were. You know the defense is trying to guard those sticks and try and keep people in front. But somehow, some way, those guys found a way to pick it up.
So we reach halftime in what's been a fairly one-sided game so far. And now, due to apparent time constraints, we fast forward to the beginning of the second half.
Okay, Coach, thanks as always to you and the gang in Orlando as we welcome everyone back in for quarter number 3.
The Browns are going to get the second half kickoff, and they've got this lead as well as we are back and underway. And a decent return out to the 27-yard line. So here are the Browns to take over. They lead things here as they start 1st and 10, trying to get rid of that bad taste in their mouth from the loss last week to the Atlanta Falcons.
Off the play fake. Here's Lawrence.
He'll buy some time right. Drops it off for Chubb. 3 yards the gain there, second down.
You know, if following up on this head coach and the pressure that he is under, CD, I want to switch it to you because you've been on winning teams, but I know you've been in similar situations too where things just are not going well. How do you approach that as a player?
It's a tough approach, Brandon, because you actually have to do the opposite of what you would think. You know, in your mind, you're thinking, I redouble my efforts, I go harder. In a sense, you have to back off a little bit. You have to do a little bit less. Do what you're supposed to do, but don't take on the pressures of doing more and trying to do your teammates' jobs as well. If you do that, that's really going to lead you to more issues.
And Chubb fighting, but nowhere to go. He's going to be stopped short of that first down marker.
No gain on the play there, and it'll bring up 4th down.
When we talk about defenders, specifically linebackers, keeping their eyes in the right spot, he had that eye down the entire time.
And you know that's not easily done because they throw a lot of misdirection at you. They try and fool you and get your eyes in the wrong place. But you're right about that one. He correctly figured that one out and made a really nice play.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Now Winston. Toward the right sideline, but it's incomplete.
But defensively, you're over there trying to catch your breath and try not to show the offense that you're a little bit fatigued. You're right back out there after the turnover. Now they've got to work towards getting another couple of stops and forcing them into at least a long field goal situation.
And that throw behind his man, he missed him, incomplete.
They missed a field goal on their last drive. Here they need something to even get into field goal range on 3rd down. Winston.
The toss here completed to Pittman.
And he'll only get this to about the 35. Well short of the line to gain. Good defense holds him to only a yard, and it'll be 4th down. So out comes a field goal team now for the second time here today. From the left hash, this will be a 52-yard attempt.
McPherson's kick is good.
And the deficit drops now from 21 down to 18. So he missed that field goal earlier, but he says not this time. Able to knock it through, give his guys 3.
I like his poise. I like his confidence, his belief in himself. Sometimes when you miss that first one, you see a lot of guys sag and they can't make the next one. Not in this case. Stepped right up like a pro.
And up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25. And the football going back over now to the Cleveland Browns.
And last time, went for it on 4th, didn't get it. We'll see if they can pick themselves up off the mat and do better this go-around.
Sometimes I have this vision of coaches writing notes to themselves before a game, and sometimes that note says, be aggressive, stay aggressive. Maybe that's what we saw in the last possession.
Yeah, they were very aggressive. This time, will it result in points? We'll find out. A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11.
They go play action now. Lawrence.
He's going to loft one deep over the middle. This is caught inside the 15. And all the way in. Touchdown, Cleveland. A big play there. 2 catches, 2 touchdowns here so far.
And the Browns are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead. And that looked almost to be a case of, a quarterback saying, hey, I'm going to throw this as far as I can and hope you run under it. Mission accomplished.
And we often talk about hang time for punts, but in this case, we should probably calculate the hang time on that throw because that one hung up there for a long time and managed to keep going and going until it found its target.
Extra point by Blankenship is up and good.
And they open the lead up now to 25.
So after the touchdown, here's Blankenship kicking off.
And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback.
Here's Tennessee ready to begin this drive offensively.
They've got to dig down deep. I mean, they need something right now, really anything to cling on to. This offense has struggled.
Partner, join me in a walk to their locker room at the half, okay? Because I think what we would have seen is...
And Winston lost the football. And this is picked up by the Browns. So they will set up shop. Excellent field position in the red zone at the 19-yard line. The defense, they were swarming that time and ultimately got to him before he could get rid of the football and knocked it free.
And don't you feel just a little bit of sympathy for him back there, though? So much going on, so much swirling around. He's trying to find someone downfield. He's trying to move around to find an open target. Sometimes you forget the number one thing, take care of the football.
And they'll bring him down at the 13-yard line. 5 yards is the tally on first down. That brings up 2nd and 5.
Frustrating for a defense, energizing for an offense. Finding a way to create that type of yardage in your running game, that'll make the guys carrying the ball very, very happy.
And he'll take it into the end zone for a Browns touchdown. Nick Chubb, a 13-yard touchdown run. And the Browns take advantage of field position on the turnover to cash this one in. He keeps carrying the ball into the end zone, and in this one, he's sort of carrying the team on his back.
He's the reason that they lead right now, no question about it. And you talk about on his back, he's not minding the extra weight at all, is he? Carrying that just as lightly as he does the football. What a great performance so far.
Those 3 touchdowns, it's got him in the lead.
Rodrigo Blankenship on for the PAT.
And the lead grows even larger here in the third quarter. Well, that drive started with not a whole lot of real estate in front of them. In plus territory, excellent field position. 2 plays later, pay dirt.
So after the touchdown, here's Blankenship kicking off.
And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The Titan offense now working their way back onto the field. And they had the fumble last time that led to a touchdown. That's a no-no. We'll see what they do here this go-around.
A big no-no. Put that in capital letters. Turning it over, the other team takes it down and scores. That can be a deflator for a football team. Now it's up to the offense to get back out on the field and pick things up.
They're out there. We'll see if they can pick those things back up.
The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9.
Jameis to throw it. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes.
Micah Parsons
in there for the sack, and it's an important one from a personal standpoint as that is sack number 100 in what has certainly been a terrific career to this point. Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. And it's a short one here, complete to the tight end.
And they're going to mark him down short, maybe by about a yard, if that.
They get 15, but they still needed a little bit more. 4th down. On now is the Titans punter as he'll come on to kick this one away. "35 yards that time on the punt, and the offense will take over with a new set of downs. The offense trots back out there. Let's turn our focus now to Nick Chubb. He's had a touchdown for every quarter so far. 3 here in the third, and probably hoping he's not done yet.
And this is a situation where it's okay to be greedy. When you've already scored 3 times, you want 4, you want more than that. And guess what? That only helps your team.
And that is caught one-handed. Oh, my, he pulled it in. And all the way in. Touchdown, Cleveland.
Sometimes you just got to marvel at how these guys can throw the football. He gave that everything he had, and it was right on the money.
And from where we sit, if you had told me that ball was somehow going to get from point A to point B, I would have told you no way. I mean, that was an absolute cannon shot, and he still dropped it right on the money, too.
And that throw, wow, 72 yards in the air, according to Next Gen Stats. Extra point by Blankenship is up and good.
And that will extend this big lead. Well, the offense wasn't out there for a long time, but they were out there for a good time. One play, and they're able to hit pay dirt.
So after the touchdown, here's Blankenship kicking off.
And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. And here comes Tennessee as they get set to take the field. They have been struggling. I would imagine at halftime they went through some possible changes. Well, those changes aren't working, so now where do you go?
I think that now it's much more in their head. And what I mean by that is just what you said. You've gone over the changes. I bet they were pretty clinical at the half, not too emotional. They might need to go to the emotional side because you've got to find something, some spark somewhere. And so far, just being calm hasn't exactly worked.
They need any spark at this point. From the 29, Winston. A gain of 4 last play. They double that here and get 8. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10.
This has to go down as one of the simpler routes in the playbook, but oh so effective. Nice completion there. Keeps the sticks moving.
1st down, Winston. He finds his man, complete. That's Jacobs. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. A big play there on the catch and run. And we're back now here in Cleveland. And that is going to do it for this third quarter of action. This is the National Football League on EA Sports. Now left side, a completion to his tight end. And he takes it down to the 10-yard line.
Well, this game is certainly pretty well over. They go ahead and mark it in the win column. But as a defense, they don't want to get so soft now that everybody just throws the ball all over the place against them, gets big yardage, and puts points on the board. They have pride, too, on that side of the ball.
44 yards rushing for him now in the ball game.
Well, partner, I know this type of running back. I mean, this size, this intensity usually gets better as the game goes on. I can just tell you from experience, the first few quarters, oh, you're eager. You come running up there. I'm going to tackle this guy. By the 4th quarter, you're coming up.
And into the end zone for a Tennessee touchdown. Josh Jacobs taking it in from 2 yards out.
And the Titans get a small measure of revenge as they cut into this 4th quarter deficit. Extra point by McPherson, up and good.
As they make the score just a slight bit more respectable here in the final quarter of play.
So after the made field goal, here's McPherson to send this one away. On the return, Tony Pollard from his end zone. And that decision to bring it out ends up not being a good one. Cost him about 5 yards as he's tackled at the 20.
Charles, you said earlier this defense is probably going to need to hold these guys right around 20 or under that if they were going to have a chance. It was evident pretty early on that wasn't going to happen.
Yeah, they left 20 behind a long time ago in this game, didn't they? It looks like they're headed towards a big, big number. But 20 was the threshold because that kept them in the ball game and kept the pressure off of their own offense.
And they'll get 8 out of this before being stopped at the 28. Now after the running play, we've got a man down on the field. Well, he gets attended to. We'll step aside. 8 yards the tally on that 1st down run. Here's 2nd and 2. They run it again with Chubb. And he'll get it up near the 35, right at the 34 here.
At carries like that, that's how they're going to continue to salt this thing away here, Charles, in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, how about that? A new set of downs. Clock continues to move. No better way to close out a game than to tap those mastodons you have up front and say, guys, keep pounding them. Let's keep the ball, keep their offense on the sidelines, and let's close this one out.
And this is caught. Touchdown. A great play there. 66 yards. And the Browns look like they're going to get back in the win column as they extend their lead here in this fourth quarter. In today's NFL, we talk about quarterbacks and their speed and accuracy, but there's still something about a guy slinging one downfield.
I'm really not sure what was more impressive about that throw. Was it the distance travel or the accuracy involved? Because I'm going to tell you straight up, when you're trying to hit a guy in stride that far downfield, there's nothing easy about it, but he sure made it look easy there.
Extra point by Blankenship is up and good.
And the lead will swell by one more.
So after the touchdown, here's Blankenship kicking off.
Williams now on the return.
And he returns this to the 22.
Let's go.
And the Titans getting set to go.
And just looking ahead, it would appear that that bye week is coming at the right time. They'll have 2 weeks to chew on this one. They'll probably not one that they want to chew on. A poor performance from start to finish.
They start on the ground with McCaffrey. And he'll get about 3 as he takes this up near the 25.
Well, from an offensive perspective, that was a tough run because he only picked up 3 yards. But let's flip it over to the defensive side. They now have the advantage. 3 yards.
And the Browns pressure gets to him that time, and he's going to go down.
Micah Parsons racking up sack number 12 for him on the year.
The Titans on third down, lacking much success, just 2 for 7 to this point. This is 3rd and 17. Working out of the gun, Winston. Over the middle to Smith. And he's going to be brought down by the face mask. Here come the flags. This is going to get him the first down. So they'll take the yardage and tack on 15 more for the face mask.
Talk about a play that absolutely costs you in the end. Just trying to do your job, right? Trying to get him on the ground. Next thing you know, they'll march up another 15 against your squad.
And meanwhile, Winston's throw there taken in by Smith.
And he takes this way down, deep into Cleveland territory. A big play that time for the Titans.
Well, partner, I'm not sure how this drive's going to end, but how about the way they flip field position there? A nice attacking play that picked up a heck of a chunk of yardage.
2 big plays in succession. Not sure this D knows what hit him, but now they got to get ready. It's 1st and goal. Winston now. And this is caught. Well, they get one back. Picking up the late touchdown here, but still down big.
He was on point throwing the ball right there. He had the big play to get him down close, and then he delivers a touchdown pass on 1st and goal.
And you mentioned the big play that got him down close. I think that big play left him reeling a little bit. They didn't recover from it. And they always talk about having to have a short memory on defense after a big play against you. Looks like their memory was a little too long there.
And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The Browns offense trotting back onto the field. We've got a lopsided game here. I don't know, Charles, what does the handbook say that we discuss when we've got a game like this in the fourth quarter?
Hold on a second. Let me thumb to the proper page on that. You know what it says?
What?
Let's discuss how we got here. This is a dominant performance, where they took control of this game, how they've managed to keep control of this game, and then we go ahead and think about how we're going to leave here and get to the airport. In a lopsided blowout, the roads are usually open.
Chubb on 1st down, no room to roam as he struggles just to get back to the line of scrimmage.
And I think that's going to go down as no gain, but that doesn't seem fair for the effort that was presented on that play. That should go down as a loss. I know, I'm a defensive guy, but you got to like the play that was made.
He made a lot of those plays last week. He was AFC Defensive Player of the Week, picking up where he left off. Now a throw here to his running back. And he's able to get this one up to his 30 before he's out of bounds. He was out there waving his arms, and when you got a quarterback out of the pocket looking for any help, I guess waving the arms is helpful.
It certainly is, because you got to get his attention, because now you're in scramble drill. So everyone's adjusting their routes, finding open space, and he found the right spot for the completion.
So left side, it's complete. And he's going to get this down to the 35-yard line. A big connection on that one. 35 yards.
Even with a big lead here in the fourth, it still bombs away, and frankly, it's working. Why should they stop? Go ahead and keep firing away and gaining those yards.
Scoop. Here we go. Here we go.
So the Browns in possession of the football here as we get you reset. And they have just about put this one on ice as they've got it here, 1st and 10. They'll try and run some clock here as they keep it on the ground. And this play will be blown up. He'll lose yardage back at the 38. It's a loss of 4 on the first down play.
So still 14 yards to go, 2nd down.
And again, it's Chubb. He'll be hit down at the 33, 5 yards on the play. Decided to hand it off that time on the run-pass option.
Appeared to be an easy decision. Just gave it inside. Nice, steady gain.
The 25-yard line is what they need here. This is 3rd down.
Go. Let's make these. Hey, box drop. 14's the mic.
Here's Lawrence to throw. And he's going to go down. They get to him back at the 40. So 4th and 15, but the offense is staying out there to go for it.
And they'll try and throw for it with Lawrence.
Going down the middle, and it's complete. And unable to break away. They stop him a few yards shy. The Browns unable to move the chains on 4th down. And as a result, it'll be Titan football on the turnover on downs. The Titans offense set to begin the drive. Let's just be frank. They're playing for pride at this point.
That's all that's left.
And now off to the races down the right side. And finally out of bounds all the way down at about the 2.
118 yards rushing for him so far as his terrific season continues here.
A great run, but, you know, this is probably where the offensive coordinator is saying, geez, we could have used a couple of these earlier in the game.
Hey, he's probably telling the head coach, well, talk to the run game coordinator about that. I just call the plays. We should have had this going right from the beginning.
Here's Winston. And that is caught. Well, they're going to see this one to the end. They get a score, but pretty much an exercise in futility right now. Still down big.
McPherson now for the extra point.
And that will cut this lead down to 25. 1 play, 2 plays, touchdown. That's all it took there. A very short and sweet drive that got him in the end zone. And that one will bounce out of the back of the end zone, so we will start here at the 25. The Browns drive about to get started. They have the dream scenario you hope for coming into the game. Just one kneel here, and this game should be over.
And it's always the final play of prep.
And the Titan defense steps up here, and down he goes. And what are the whistles for? Timeout. So they'll stop the clock here in a game that's been decided in the closing seconds. That one looks like he'll throw here. Open man right side is Sharp. And he's brought down after a very nice gain. Well, Charles, it's one thing to win. It's another thing to win and put up the amount of points that they did. Boy, were they clicking on offense.
They can't help but feel great about themselves, can they? I mean, what a game to put up that number of points, continually feeling like they're moving the ball and things are working and clicking. They think that they can bottle this and carry it with them.
And as an offensive coordinator, you just don't think you can do anything wrong. Whatever you call, run, pass, it's all going to work.
That's called being in the zone.
So for Cleveland,